Why is Final Fantasy XIV a superior MMORPG? Why is it so good? What makes it such a great MMORPG that won the Best Ongoing Game Award at the Game Award 2021? And why do I, my friends, or just people around me enjoy this game so much? Hello, my name is Day. This will be a longer video from me. We will be looking and talking about Final Fantasy XIV as a MMORPG from my personal experience, which I started back in patch 5.1. as well as letting you guys know why I decided to move on from my previous MMO to 14. Most importantly, talking about what this game offers for those of you who wanted to give this game a try. Final Fantasy XIV went through a lot. The game was so bad when it was released, they had to take it down back in 2010. With Yoshi P becoming the new director for the game, it started to get better. The game was re-released in August 2013, aka A Realm Reborn, and until today, it's the best MMO out there. Like some of my previous videos stated, communication between players and developers is very important. Yoshi P is constantly doing that with live letters, not just introducing players to new updates. You would also see him reading comments during it, answering players' questions and concerns. Remember the time he apologized to players on the stream with Endwalker release date delayed? Like, that is the first time I saw a developer truly care about their game that much and feel bad for the expansion release date to be delayed. I don't believe there are many developers out there that are still doing this and constantly reading and acknowledging feedback. The most important thing will be that Yoshi P does not treat Final Fantasy XIV like a product. He treats it like a game, and as a developer himself, but also a player himself. Many would agree that is indeed the reason toward the success of Final Fantasy XIV today. But what exactly is in the game that catches our attention so amazing that we stick to the game and never let go? There are many categories I would like to cover, and compared to other MMOs out there in the market nowadays. Let's start with the system in Final Fantasy XIV that's more unique to other MMOs just by looking at the job system. You are able to swap to any job at any time you want, then do any content with it. Isn't it wonderful? So that you won't have to level another character like a lot of MMOs out there where one character is bound to one class and never be able to switch. It really gives players a lot of freedom to play whichever job they enjoy at the time instead of going on a new character, then level it all over again. Another very unique system will be the Roulette System. Ever had those moments where you started playing a MMO and you are stuck in some queue for multiplayer content? Just because no one is at the level and no one wants to do that specific content doesn't mean it's the same in Final Fantasy XIV. The Roulette System is something the game offers that benefit both new and veteran players. Veteran players queue up for Roulette, they would be level synced down, and to help newer players in lower leveled instances. But at the same time getting their endgame currency or something like that which benefit them, so they're never gonna feel like they're left out on any content. Also, a very important thing in the game is to keep all contents playable at any level. Most of the MMO out there release new content every other few months. Then, the old content will just be outdated. No one plays it anymore. But in Final Fantasy XIV, there's always people doing older content. Or, like I said, the roulette make player do them. Everything is playable in the game. Nothing ever gets outdated. Raids from years ago from Heaven's Word expansion are still fun even till today. The challenge is still there regardless how old the content is, and a lot of players do old content for accomplishment. Combat and PvE are always a big thing in different MMOs. Final Fantasy XIV's combat towards some players might feel slower than some MMO that you would be fighting in real time. Attack and iframe at real time, that is. Final Fantasy XIV uses the combo system with its rotation design on every job. Using certain skills after another will give it a potency boost, giving players this satisfaction with doing the correct rotation. I personally feel the combat was very slow at the beginning of the game. Maybe at A Realm Reborn, things are starting to pick up after ARR, and let me tell you, dungeons and raid are a blast. With different mechanic and interesting boss design, player will have to work as a team and manage to clear the content. There are also harder content such as Savage Raiding or Ultimate in the game where you can push your limit on PvE. Without going too far with this topic, What I am trying to tell you is that Final Fantasy XIV's PvE feels amazing. With the amount of mechanics design and teamwork that's required, you will absolutely have a great time. They put a lot of effort into their story in the game as well. Yeah, I'm not just talking about the main story in the game, also big and small side quests. You would find yourself spending hours and hours watching cutscenes. But is it worth it? I'd say it's great, and totally worth the time to invest into the story in Final Fantasy XIV. Trust me, it's one of those rare MMO with an incredible story with many emotional moments included. You grow attached to the character you love in the story and join them with their journey sort of thing. Well, maybe not for everyone, but for me, for sure. Are you concerned that there might be potential pay-to-win stuff like most of the MMOs out there in the game? Well, the answer is no. You pay your $15 a month subscription and that's it. There is no such thing as pay to win in Final Fantasy XIV. You want to get more powerful on PvE? Well, you will have to do content and earn your gear, or just get better with the job rotation. The game makes you work for it, and you will feel accomplished afterward, instead of just spending money and buy the thing. I believe it's another reason why we love the game, and want to invest our time into it. Another very important thing I would like to point out is the pace of the game. Have you ever played other MMOs that has daily and weekly quests in the game? Or just something you have to do every day? Then at the end you really feel like you are not enjoying the game. It's sort of turned into a chore. You get what I'm saying? It's a way a MMO wants players to get online and play every day. They put these things in the game, in a way forcing players to play more. However, it doesn't work that way in Final Fantasy XIV. Many who play the game can tell you that there is no strict daily or weekly you need to do. It's the goal that you set for yourself. Be it doing daily roulette every day to level a job, or doing daily beast tribe quests for that mount. You are ultimately the one setting your own goal, and to achieve it, you set the pace yourself. Unlike many other games where you have battle pass system and you have a certain amount of time to finish it before it expires. Once it expires, you will miss all the exclusive reward from it. You really don't have a deadline on majority of the stuff in Final Fantasy XIV. Even with their seasonal quest, you would probably spend about 1 to 2 hours for the whole 30+ day duration for the seasonal event. You think combat and PvE is everything about Final Fantasy XIV? Well, that's incorrect. Other than combat and PvE, the game offers a lot more other things to do. Be gathering, crafting, housing, or just chilling in venues, hanging out with people and having a great time. If you're not that into battle, gathering and crafting can be exciting. The game takes them seriously. It's a big part of the game, seeing some gear or consumable item are created from those two categories. I never thought I would get into crafting back in the day. I thought it would be boring. Until I tried it out, then I realized it's actually a lot more fun than other MMOs gathering and crafting. Especially crafting. You have your crafting gear and rotational skills. Yes, you heard me right. Crafters have crafting rotation because they have so many different skills. To fully utilize them, you would need to learn and understand how each skill works. It's mind-blowing, it's part of the game, and it's freaking awesome. Then you have housing, which gives you a lot of freedom in the house, where you can put decorations however you like. I remember spending hours just to decorate my apartment, but at the end everything looks nice and I feel accomplished. With that said, where people can set up decorations in their house, we will have these people set up their house and turn it into a venue. Be it a lounge for people to hang out or just a small cafe, a quiet place for people to chill. They all have their purpose and most importantly to make people have fun. I personally visit venue quite often in the game. It's a very unique experience. Not just to see what kind of unique decoration people can put up in their house, but it's also the environment and what kind of experience a certain venue can bring me. You may end up meeting new people, make friends. It's all nice outside the PvE and combat. The Final Fantasy XIV community is big and mostly nice. They do strictly prohibit toxicity in the game. It really created this nice environment for me, you, and everyone around. Players are willing to help each other out in dungeon, patiently teaching each mechanics and whatnot. Never worry about being looked down on or being bullied in game. The community is just that nice. I did have a video talking about my last MMO, as known as PSO2 NGS, and why it's dying. I think the answer is obvious why I chose to move on from the last MMO. Final Fantasy XIV offers way too much than I could ever ask for. $15 of sub a month is a steal with how much content I can enjoy. I don't think the decision I made was bad. I feel like it's totally worth to move on. Ever thinking about starting to play Final Fantasy XIV? It's never a bad time to drop something else for this game. However, you will have to buy the game and pay a monthly subscription for it. But there is a way for you to start playing without paying. That will be the free trial. You can play up to Heavensward, aka the first expansion, for free, up to level 60, however with some restrictions. It's not bad at all. When I remember back in the day, the free trial only gave you a couple days to play. And with the level 30 cap, don't be afraid to give the game a try. You have nothing to lose. In conclusion, Final Fantasy XIV might not be the best game back in 2010 when it launched, but their effort and undying passion fixed the game and became the best MMO now. With a vast amount of content in the game for one to explore, with a great system that makes players never feel left out, with an incredible story that's worth investing one's time on, with a friendly community where one can fit in and get help. This is Final Fantasy XIV, the best ongoing game of 2021, and it is why this game is superior. I hope this video aids you in many ways, mostly for those who've been wanting to try out the game. You may drop a like or sub if you enjoyed the content. Leave a comment below for things you would like to say about the game or share some thoughts. Maybe even things I've missed you would like to add. Thanks for watching, my name is Day, see you next time.